your life and made you want to be a better person? I'm sure most of you can say you have, and I, along with most of you, have known someone in my life to be that person. For me, that person was my grandmother, also known as my Granny Puck. She was inspiring for many reasons, but the three I want to tell you about today were her great love for God, her family, and others. My Granny Puck had a hard life growing up and faced many challenges. There was a point in her life where she was very bitter, but through God's grace she overcame that, and because of that, her love for God was even greater. She was never ashamed to talk about God or all that He had done in her life. The way she lived her life in every aspect was evident of her love for God. Because her love for God was so great, it was just natural that it would overflow into a great love for her family. My Granny Puck was the greatest grandmother I could have ever asked for. She loved to cook. Every time when my sister and I were little and we would go visit, she would have a homemade chocolate cake ready. She taught me how to garden and crochet and all sorts of other things. My mom would testify that she was the greatest mother that she could have asked for. After my Granny Puck passed away, my grandfather was so devastated he never really recovered. My whole family can testify to her great love for us and how much she meant to us all. Because her love for God and her family was so great, it was just natural that that would overflow into a great love for others. My Granny Puck loved people and loved to serve people. After she retired as a school teacher, she took a job at a grocery store solely for the fact that she loved to talk to strangers. My family always said, Granny Puck never met a stranger. She loved to serve people. I remember at her funeral, a homeless woman approached me and told me how much she loved my grandmother and all that she meant to her. She said my granny used to bring her food and come and talk to her about God and all that He had done in her life. My Granny Puck inspired me to love God wholeheartedly and serve others and reach out to the less fortunate. My Granny Puck passed away 10.5 years ago. I was only 14 years old, but I will never forget her great love for God, her family, and others. She was inspiring not only to me, but many others around her. She was truly a remarkable woman, and I feel blessed to call her my grandmother. I will never forget my Granny Puck and the amazing woman that she was.
And